for the Premier League's best traditional number 10 of all time, two candidates stand out. Dennis Bergkamp and Gianfranco Zola, despite the Italian donning the number 25 shirt for Chelsea, of course. Both legendary, but which one was the 10 out of 10 number 10?
Well, it sounds bizarre because I'm a massive admirer of Zola, but I'm not sure there's been too many better number 10s than Bergkamp. I think he made the game look simpler than anyone else. I think he had that unbelievable technical ability.
Bergkamp, without any hesitation. Zola, a wonderful, wonderful player. Somebody who made you smile when you watched him play some of the things he did. But Bergkamp not only made me smile, he made me gasp, he made me stand up and start applauding some of the things he did. I had never seen some of the things he did, and I never will see those things again. I've never seen anybody flick it around one side of the defender and go around the other side. And that was Dennis Bergkamp, absolutely unique and an absolute one-off.
With an incredible 11 goals squeezed into 90 minutes, Portsmouth's 7-4 victory over Reading in 2007 holds the record for the highest-scoring Premier League game. A fascinating feast of attacking football, and one that exemplifies why so many consider it to be the best league in the world.
That 7-4 Portsmouth-Reading, my son played in that game and I was watching that game, and you talk about the best attacking, it was the worst defending in the world as well, by the way, and that's what makes the Premier League so great. People say, look, the defending was awful, but the entertainment was top class, and so that's what makes football, and that's what makes the Premier League. It's about attitude to the game, that we're going to score more goals than you do, and I love that about the Premier League. That's why it's the best league in the world.
Far and away the most successful manager of his generation, Sir Alex Ferguson led Manchester United to their 12th Premier League title under his leadership in May 2011. But how much longer can the Scotsman continue at the very top of the game?
I'd be amazed if he doesn't win at least one more title and probably another cup, possibly the Champions League as well. He really loves that fight, that challenge. By far the most successful manager in the era, and even if he doesn't win anything else, he goes down as we use that word legend, quite often. I think with him it goes without saying, and he'll be a winner, I think, right up until the very end.
Apparently, as soon as he's won something, he celebrates for maybe 2 hours, and then he's thinking ahead to the next game or the next season. I just think he's restless, and he'll probably never stop. And if he does, I don't know what'll happen.
I don't think he'll get any more. I think that Sir Alex has been wonderful for Man United. But I think there comes a time when you realise that things were on the wane. Now, can he pick it up again? I'm not so sure.
On the opening day of the Premier League's inaugural season, a mere 13 overseas players were present in the 22 teams' starting lineups. In the 20th season, that number could have been found in a single fixture. But has the influx of foreigners affected the league and its homegrown players?
I think that's a myth that the foreigner has stopped the young English talent coming through. But what they've added to the game is, you only have to look at the overseas sales now of the Premier League. It's 170 countries, something like that. Everybody wants to watch this. It is one of our great exports in this country, in the entertainment industry particularly. And a lot of that has to do with the magnificent foreign influx we've seen over the years. So no, I think they've been a joy.
In the past, when good quality players have come in, they've had a really positive effect. Eric Cantona at Man United being the one that jumped straight into the mind. So good foreign players enhance the Premier League. Bad foreign players really undermine British talent, and I think that's starting to even out now. And hopefully, we'll get the best of both worlds.
The shirt number of Thierry Henry, an Arsenal hero. Undoubtedly one of the league's greatest imports, the Frenchman registered 176 goals in 258 league appearances for the Gunners, 2 of those coming in a brief return visit last season. But was he the best of them all?
I just loved the way he played the game. He played it in a beautiful way, and he was almost unplayable. I think when I was he got a hat-trick against us one day, and I've been 4. We couldn't cope with him. He was at his peak of his mercurial powers, and I think mercurial's an too often used word. He had mercurial pace, mercurial ability, and a mercurial love of the game. I think that's very important.
Some of the most stunning runs, fantastic finishes, great team player as well. I don't think anybody got fans on the edge of their seat like Henry did. Henry, for me, is the best that I've ever seen in the Premier League, without doubt.
Thierry Henry was just pure class and pure star, like a Rolls Royce. And that's what put him just a little bit above the other players. Not ability, but the way that he did it. And that will long live in the memory for not only myself, but a lot of Arsenal supporters.
Conceding just 15 goals in an entire season was a hallmark of Chelsea's 04-05 campaign under Jose Mourinho. The Portuguese manager famously described himself as the special one. But what made him so special, and will he ever return to the Premier League?
Alex Ferguson has done it over a longer period, of course, but Mourinho's come in an extremely charismatic way, very popular with everybody, well, with most people anyway. And yeah, you know, I think he will come back, and if he does, no doubt he'll be successful.
I think he just has a very good tactical brain, but he's also got an amazing affinity with his players. They seem to love him, and they love playing for him, and he manages to instill a spirit in all the sides that he manages that is unequalled anywhere. He is special, he is a special one, because he's great on and off the pitch, and they love him.
The reason why he's special is because he knows his stuff and he can implement it, and no one can say anything against him because it doesn't affect him.
Wayne Rooney was just 16 years old when he scored his first Premier League goal, a last-minute winner for Everton against Arsenal in 2002. Now, still only 26, with 144 league goals to his name, does he have the potential to beat Alan Shearer's all-time scoring record of 260?
He is the marriage of the foreign player with great technical ability, with what the English steel, tenacity, grit, and you know, he's an iconic footballer, and he really is probably the best English player in the Premier League at this moment. Can he do that? Yes, he can. Will he do it? I think he will, because of how young he is, and you know, what he can achieve will be mind-boggling in the game.
It's Rooney. He's done it again.
Rooney stays fit and he still plays for Manchester United, or one of the big clubs in this country, but I'm sure it would still be Manchester United. Yeah, I can see him definitely taking on that record, or getting close anyway.
He's much more of a creator than Alan Shearer, gets involved with so many other aspects of the game. You know, so very, very hard to reach that figure, but I would imagine that he'll come close. But no, I think Shearer's mark is out of reach for the time being.
Being on the ball is what makes Wayne Rooney not really scoring goals. Of course, he loves scoring goals, but he wants to be on the ball. He wants to be involved in every second of the 90 minutes. So I don't think he'll beat Alan Shearer's record because of that reason.
Arsenal's Flying Dutchman Robin van Persie scored against 17 different opponents in the last campaign, equalling Ian Wright's Arsenal record. However, the 28-year-old will not be renewing his contract with the Gunners, meaning he may have to be sold to avoid him leaving on a free next year. Surely a crushing blow for Arsene Wenger.
Wenger is the best developmental coach in the world. I think he gets players and gets the best out of them. I think he's outstanding in what and how he's evolved Robin van Persie. I just think Nasri, Fabregas and Van Persie in 2 years, what does that say about their ambition? And if they don't keep him, I don't think they can challenge for the Premier League title next year. And that's, you know, it's a big statement to make, but it's very true. You know, Podolski, as good as he is not a replacement for Van Persie.
Van Persie! It is the hat-trick!
Arsenal are a couple of steps behind the big clubs, the other big clubs in England right now. I don't think they are ready to win any kind of trophy right now. And there's a great opportunity for him to win titles at Man City or Man United or Barcelona, Real Madrid, etc.
Like everyone, he wants to win things. And although, you know, he probably thinks his heart is Arsenal, like all players, they want to win things. And he obviously feels that he's not going to win things with Arsenal unless they buy 3 or 4 world-class players. And the money that Arsenal have got, I don't think they can compete.
An £18 million purchase for Sir Alex, David De Gea became the Premier League's most expensive goalkeeper. Though it's too early to assess his long-term impact, who has been the best of the stoppers in the last 20 years?
to say Peter Schmeichel, just because of the way he inspired things, the way he inspired teammates, even scored. I think if you were playing for Manchester United in that golden era of the late 90s and you knew you had Peter Schmeichel behind you, I think you'd feel a lot safer.
Brilliant from Hart! Well, that's 4 big saves.
Joe Hart is going to push Schmeichel very close, but Schmeichel was a freak of nature.
In terms of dominance, that fear factor that he put into not only opposing players but also into some of his own teammates as well. You know, for me, he's the #1 shot stopper we've seen.
Peter Schmeichel's just a man mounted, and he did something that the best keepers always did. You know, when a striker would go through one-on-one, he'd wait for the striker to make a move, and he'd say, "Well, you've got to beat me." Where a lot of goalkeepers would go down much too early and put the fear of God into strikers, and that's what Peter Schmeichel did. I think Schmeichel is the best in Premier League history.
An important statistic in Manchester United history, 19, the number of top-flight league titles won by the club. Liverpool may be just one behind, but what about the future in the Premier League? What are the realistic chances of any club ever ending the Manchester outfit's domination?
I think the only team that can do it is Manchester City. If the money continues to flow as it has done, I think everyone around the world, any young great footballer around the world will look at Manchester City and think they're going to be in the Champions League, I'm going to have success, I'm going to earn a lot of money. What's there not to like?
United were imperious for long periods in that history, and I think they'll pop up with the odd one in the near future as well, just to keep it ticking over. So it's an unbelievable record, and I think it's something that's going to stay in situ for a very long time.
And last but by no means least, Ryan Giggs' goal against Fulham in December meant the United midfielder had scored at least once in every one of the Premier League's 20 seasons. His first came against Tottenham in 1992. So what is the secret to the Welsh Wizard's success?
Obviously, he trains fantastically well, looks after his body magnificently. He's an outstanding technical footballer. In fact, technically, he's better now than when he started. I really believe that. A long way better. I think he's evolved his game, but he can play for another 2 or 3 years without a doubt.
In terms of all-round brilliance, if you like, that medal, as if he hasn't got enough already, has to go to Ryan Giggs.
He is a fantastically gifted footballer, and we've all known that for years. How much longer he can go on for? I wouldn't imagine too much longer, and he, like everyone, will realise that. But he is unique, and we may never see his like again.
Fittingly, that brings our look back in numbers at the Premier League's 20 seasons to a close. Roll on, season 21.